Producer Rodney is what you should call him.
Rodney Gold.
No, Producer Rodney.
Producer Rodney.
Yeah.
All right, we are live.
All right, I got the chat up here. Shoot, I need to charge my phone. Is that Rodney getting filled? Good afternoon. All right, let's see if we are live. The media could not load because the server failed to connect. Uh-oh. Let's try that again. No, it works. All right. How's Vegas?
Who's asking?
Susie.
Susie, it's great.
It's great, but someone. Oh, yeah. Well, I can't on the phone. Well, actually, you can on the phone. Wait. It's the other cord, though.
Yeah,
that one. It's this one.
yeah, I got it.
But we, Rodney has been losing on bubble crabs already. He's been getting sevens.
Fam, I play bubble crap so often, it's comical how much you can actually win. And I'm technically 0 for 4. I have hit 6-1 on the second roll 4 times in a row. But hey, we don't give up. It's only Friday, baby. It's only Friday.
Today's a different day.
Oh, I'm already 0 for 2 today. It's early.
Oh, no.
That's all right. Just gotta get the Friday vibes going.
You in the cam video? It's so small, I can barely see
I'm in
it.
there. I'm right here.
Okay. All right, let me get the chat buck. You just boarded a flight to New Orleans, and they're telling me the Wi-Fi is out the plane. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, Rodney, where are we going to go? So Sunday, we're going to go, what bar at the Wynn?
We'll post it on and let everybody know we're going to be at.
Yeah, probably like one of the main open bars at the Wynn on Sunday evening.
Yeah, we'll let everybody know where we're at. We just want to make sure we find a good spot.
Yeah, we have not been to the Wynn yet, but I'm seeing media can't be loaded message.
Did you try refreshing?
This came from one of the guys in the chat, Christian.
Oh, yeah.
Try reloading. Should be good.
SQQ, Alan, it's just the inverse NASDAQ or the inverse QQQ. So basically, if the market goes down, SQQ goes up. So it's an inverse product. It's a cheap way to hedge and play a market downturn. Which, why is the screen acting weird? It won't stop shaking.
I see that too.
I know. It's happening mine too. I know. Yeah, weird. Circled, just a little too rich for me, unfortunately. Some stocks are just a little out of the price range. But I did like a couple of names. I was actually telling Christian and then the option pit. You got Merck. Kind of the boring stocks have been the good ones lately, right? Merck, some good orders in the calls for next week and some Halloween calls. So like Merck will be a flight to safety, kind of like our good friend Coca-Cola and Starbucks. When the market goes down, Coke is up another 1%. So if you're holding those Coke calls from the other day, you're probably up around, 40, 50%? I got to check my Robinhood account. And also Merck, usually when kind of the speculative stocks that are going lower, like the BEs, the Morrows, the Riot, some of those quantum stocks we're seeing lots of bearish flow on, then money rotates into safety asset classes. So that would be like utilities, pharmaceuticals, and food and beverage names. But you know what I can do? Let me see if I can do this because we're kind of limited on screen sharing. Do you have toss up?
Yeah.
Can you pull up Circle? How much are the options for next week? Like, what are the one? Go to circle. How much are like the 130 calls? Yeah. Get out of the vertical spreads.
395 by 430.
Jeez. Yeah. They have earnings. $13 move. They have to, right? Yeah. Some stuff is just too rich to even trade. Unfortunately. That's why I like the cheap options. Like those Merck options were cheap. Gap calls, super cheap. I think they were like 50 cents when I just went on Robinhood. Anything cheap. If it's short dated, you really want cheap stuff. If it's, let's say, December or January, then you can go and pay some money. But I did like seeing. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Oh, look. Speaking of Coca-Cola, let me know if y'all see this new screen tab here.
There's no available options for Coke right now. Everything's too small. There's
Okay,
there's usually
got you.
nothing on Friday.
Got you. But on my new Friday profit play or Friday royalty play, Coca-Cola is actually number one on the list. A name we did just not yesterday, the day before. So pretty cool. So you can notice how the money is rotating into safety assets. Here's another one: Kroger, food and beverage. And that's another flight to safety there. And Cisco has hit again. So just like we did ARM earlier in the week for about 50%. Yes, Cisco. And I think with Cisco, yeah, you can see the not a big implied move, only about $2.
What's the floor at though?
So 680,
Yeah.
68. So like stuff like this, I really like. Kind of I wouldn't say it's boring, but it's not like quantum computing or super speculative stocks, right? Like I wouldn't go and buy NVIDIA calls right now, right? I wouldn't do anything correlated with the overall market, so to speak. I would do something that's a honey badger. So something that is independent of the market or something that can, maybe has earnings or beat to its own drum. You really don't want anything dependent on what the S&P is going to do, because I don't think anyone has any idea what the thing. MSTR we do not trade because it's a Bitcoin Treasury ETF, so you're always going to see millions of dollars in MSTR, right? So we don't. If I could remove MSTR, I would, but we never trade that stock. Too expensive, and it's a Treasury ETF. Hopefully, we could get it removed soon. ARM, you don't need to do anything with. If you didn't close it out for 50%, as long as it closes today above 162.5. So even though the stock's down $6.50 today, doesn't even matter. Pretty cool. That's why we
I'll say the one stock using this tool in particular, I traded probably the same 4 or 5 different stocks. One of them that I've been doing a lot lately is MRVL and PLTR. So Marble and Palantir.
Oh yeah.
I would say we've traded Palantir from this thing maybe 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of those two. Even if they don't show on the list, even if they're not at the top, I still typically like to target them. They've just been really consistent players for this.
And do you know why?
Why is that?
Because they both have high implied volatility, and if you look at like a Palantir lately, it hasn't really done much.
Yeah.
Right.
Perfect.
So you're actually getting paid for the stock not to move.
Bingo. And the thing is, like, so right now, what this will do is now this will organize basically the stocks that have the lowest, we call it a market maker's floor. And what it'll do is you're just looking for the stock to close above the market maker's floor. And when that happens, you just essentially collect a payout. Because if you look on the right hand side of the screen, you'll actually see all those zeros. Close that real quick. You'll see all the zeros are that's days till expiration. So typically what we like to do is we like to open up the trade with like 3 or 4 days with expiration.
Like Tuesday.
Yep, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. And then as long as it stays above the floor, which we could actually see on that last chart, you typically correct payout. So you don't need this big vivacious move to the upside. You don't need a big move to the downside.
Yeah.
You're really just looking for some stability in a stock. And because the floor is usually set pretty far below the current price, even if the stock turns against us, even if it drops $3, $4, $5, it's usually not enough to cause a losing outcome. It's pretty sweet.
Yep. Yeah, and you don't have to do anything with them. With ARM, we closed it at a quarter yesterday just because, I was traveling.
Yep.
But what is it right now? Can you go to ARM?
Yeah.
And do 162.5, 160 credit spread? Let me see here. So it's like $1 right now. No, you're at next week. Sorry, go to this week. Yeah. So it's like 20 cents. So you can either buy it back at 20 cents or you can just let it expire. As long as the shares stay over 162.5, then you'll get 100% max value. So pretty simple. Again, you don't really have to manage it or do anything crazy, which is what I like. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, it's 162.5. So it's 19 by 37. So yeah, you probably buy it back around 20. Pretty cool. Very cool. So yeah, I like that. Oops. Wow. I like doing what we call premium selling strategies right now. With the VIX high, as y'all know, volatility has kicked back in. That's why the 4 p.m. payout plan has done so well lately, because of the VIX has expanded. So now we're able to get like 50-point cushions and stuff. So it's been pretty amazing lately. So all we want to do that right now is with stocks that are very liquid, with high implied volatility, with large market maker ranges, to target individual stocks. Because rule of thumb, I know if you're new to trading, you probably don't know this because you haven't seen much volatility. But back in the day, the rule of thumb was if the VIX is over 20, you sell premium. So you sell options. VIX under 20, you get directional, you buy options, right? So, we often say, buy puts when hedging's cheap. Same thing, right? Buy puts when the VIX is low. When the VIX is high, you don't want to buy puts because you're buying expensive volatility. You're buying expensive options. So instead, you want to sell options. So that's like doing credit spreads, selling puts, but I don't recommend that because there's too much risk. But when you do like a credit spread, you have a limited risk, yes, limited reward, but your probability goes up so much, where it's just very, very friendly. Oh, look, gap calls.
I said it was up 20%.
Yeah, gap calls are already up 20%.
What's actually cool, and I don't mean to kind of step over Lance here, but he's talking about the VIX, and if you're in the 4 p.m. payout program, that there are stretches where if the VIX is below, when it's like 14, 15, 16, we can't really do a trade, right? It messes with you. With this Friday trade from the dashboard we were just sharing, like the one thing that I actually, there's 2 things I love about it. Because we're not using a 0 DTE, it's a little bit less volatile. So like,
yes,
if you're kind of a nervous Nancy, like I am a little bit, where you monitored the trade, I don't have to do that as much. But also what I love is that when we have a low VIX and we can't get the premium we want from the 4 p.m. payout plan, we can actually kind of apply a very similar strategy, but to a ton of different stocks. So we're not like cornholed or pigeonholed into using one particular strategy. We can apply kind of the very similar 4 p.m. strategy to a bunch of different stocks. And that's been really awesome as like a way to supplement it, but still find that same like degree of like safety and consistency.
Yeah. And if you're wondering like what stocks, let me actually just show y'all like a little screener. This is how you can get like just a little gauge of stocks. Like if you don't know what implied volatility is or anything, you don't have to. We do all that for you. But if you're just like, well, what are liquid stocks, or what kind of stocks? Why do you pick Palantir? Why do you pick these kind of names? Why are they appearing on the list there? It's usually when we find stocks. Here we go. Let me share this tab. Usually when we find stocks, for example, that have a pretty high implied volatility. So we'll look at a couple here. So you can see, a lot of these names that we've been looking at here. We'll actually go a little bit more here. Let's go month. And let's do by dollar. So you can see like Tesla, right? GEV, AppLovin. Let's go down. Duolingo, wow, throwback. Royal Caribbean, Oracle, Humana, DoorDash, Snow. There goes AMD. AMD, First Solar, STX, AMAT. So these are just usually names that have higher implied volatility than, like your Apples or Googles, which don't really have much volatility at all anymore, right? NRG, BABA, Roblox, CoreWave. So kind of all those names that I often say, hey, options are expensive. They're expensive when you buy them, but when you sell them, that equals more money that you can get. And when you do it as a credit spread, you don't have to pay an arm and a leg, but you'll have a big, big cushion of wiggle room. Even Baidu there. So just something a little different because that's the market. When the VIX is like 15, then, go buy all your quantum stocks, go buy all your, speculative stocks because they work, it's fun. But when the VIX is higher, those names usually get hit the most. And the flight to safety stocks go up. Like your Coca-Colas and stuff like that. But it doesn't mean you have to not trade. You can still trade. You just need to trade by selling premium instead of buying direction. And let's see what else we have here. Yeah, and like Gap's doing good. All right. And what we're going to do now, is there a minimum IV? Yes, John. Yes, there is a minimum IV. Yes. There's a minimum IV we have in our filtering. But yeah, like, someone's asking about Mara here in the chat. So like Mara would be an example of a stock we don't want to trade right now, right? Because crypto, speculative, directional, instead of buying Mara calls, the smart thing would be to sell Mara bull put credit spreads so you can get more money and you don't have to be right on direction. So you have a higher probability if you want to trade it that way. But me and Rodney are going to get back to Vegas. We're working on something very special for y'all and having a little bit of we'll say gambling fun, but the casino has been not treating us well lately, or really our first day here. But Christian's going to take it away. Yeah, you want to look at IV percentile too. You want to look at historic IV versus current IV as well. So you want current IV to be higher than historic IV. And then you want, kind of giving it away here, then you want to see the stock be less than the market maker's move compared to what the average true range is. And we are able to filter all that. Let me just show it one more time here. We are able to filter all that here. And what I mean by that is, let's say the market maker move in a stock is $5, like in Coke. But the average true range over the past 14 days is only $3. That's almost a $2 cushion in your favor because the market makers are overpricing the options compared to what the stock historically does. So therefore, it'd be smart to trade a name like Coke. right? It would be bad to trade a name like GM because the market maker range is only $1 and the average true range is $3. So we don't want to do stuff like that. You want to do that's within the average true range, but the market maker range is exceeding it. So you can have a little bit of option mispricing there. Option mispricing is obviously very rare, but if you can find that compared to how the stock historically performs, then it's just a good advantage that you have. Yes. But hopefully in like a week or so, we'll be sharing more info and more in detail about all of this. We're actually meeting some of the programmers and quants and stuff out here in Vegas in a little bit. So we'll have everything kind of looking pretty for y'all and stuff here in a little bit. Christian, if you want to take it away and give the people all the details, or not all the details because we're not done yet, but if you want to take it away, and I think you have the Tesla program class.
Yep, we sure do.
Sweet. And I'll see everyone on Monday.
See you, Lance. If you guys want to stick around after the presentation today, I will answer any questions that you have. And then while the presentation is going on, if you guys do have any questions, I'm here in the background to answer anything. Nars, I'm going to get to your question once we get the video started. And then, yeah, you guys stick around and get all your questions answered. So without further ado.
Obviously, more people know about space exploration than robotics, but that's another massive, massive market you don't want to miss out on. So I'm going to give you one of my top classes here on Tesla out there. And we have been trading Tesla from this strategy from 7/20/2023. Obviously, we still do it. The average win rate on the published alerts is 73.6%. The average return on options, both winners and losers, 23% over a 4-day hold period. We cannot guarantee future results using the strategy displayed, and there's obviously a high degree of risk involved in trading in markets. See the Trading Pub homepage. And please note, just like anything in life, sometimes when I buy my sports cards or Pokemon or Hulk Hogan wrestling cards out there, they go up, they go down, they go sideways. If you can't handle a loss, don't trade with money you can afford to lose. My goal over the past 7 years is to help give you an edge in the markets. And last year, I was, well, quite frankly, people thought I was crazy because I gave a bold Tesla prediction live. And again, I put my money where my mouth is. So, if I'm wrong, I'll be the one to take the pain. But I mentioned that Tesla share price would likely hit 400 in 2025. Sure enough, I was right. Now, 10 months into that prediction, Tesla share price not only exceeded my price target, but the stock has gained more than 70% and still rolling in hot. And that's been extremely good for our perfect Tesla traders. Now, if you've been following along, then you know we've nailed 35 Tesla opportunities. Folks following along could have made a potential 19K in profits. That's wins and losses, and that's, of course, based on the starting stake there. Now, if you missed out, though, don't sweat it. Today, I'm going to show you how to tag along for the next Tesla opportunity because it all starts with what you see right here on my chart. Now, I like to keep things simple, the KISS method. As simplistic as it looks, it can help you the best and the worst times to target Tesla stock, which right here, this line you see, when it's green, it means Tesla is in a bullish trading cycle. And as long as we open up a basic weekly trade, we can target gains up to a potential 100% or more in 6 days or less. Now, let's take a step back to January to understand how it works. And if you don't remember, because I do, it was tough. It was a tough time to be an investor. Optimism was at an all-time low. Fear was at an all-time high. Now, don't worry again if you missed out. We're still only in neutral right now. And 401ks were under the water. They were down. And Tesla stock plummeted 200 per share. Now, in other words, no one in their right mind was actively trying to trade this stock. But in January, my indicator flipped from red to green. You can see it happen right here on the chart. That meant Tesla was entering the next bullish trading cycle. Now, this is what got me so excited here today because we are in a brand new bullish cycle. How do you open up a basic trade while the indicator was green? That was a potential 89% ROI in just 3 trading days. Now, you could do this in a regular account, 401k account, Schwab, Fidelity, Robinhood, E-Trade, Tasty Trade. That would have been $5,000 into $9,450. And most folks are lucky if they could do that a couple times a year. But here's the thing. The next week it was still green. So that means momentum is still bullish. How do you pop in one ordinary trade? You could have collected a potential 168% in 4 days. Now, the week after, even though we started to move higher, we were still green. This one was a massive 255%. The week after, it was the exact same thing, 65% in 4 trading days. And that's important. If you notice how they're about 4 to 6 days, it will make sense here in a little bit. Because that was 4 weeks, 4 consecutive winners. 1,000 to each was over $9,700. And that's the beauty. When it's green, we know with confidence it's the perfect time to target Tesla. In fact, I call this the perfect Tesla trade. And thanks to this market anomaly that's specific to this stock, we have a shot at potential double our money each week the indicator is green. And for the past 18 months, me and a small group of folks out there have been targeting it. But that changes today. Because I'm going to teach you how to execute the perfect Tesla trade right inside your own account. And again, it doesn't matter what broker you have or what style of account, you can do this. And I'll even invite you to take the perfect Tesla trade with me this week. And don't worry, as you'll see soon, it has nothing to do with risky strangles, iron condors, butterflies, diagonals, nothing like that. It was designed so that anyone, regardless of experience, time constraints, or capital, could enter this powerful trade. So if you have a big account, you can do this. Even if you have a small account, I have a way that you can do this too. And it couldn't be easier to understand. As long as the indicator is green, we have the same trade, the same stock, and the same time each week. And in all cases, we're out the trade in 6 days or less, win, lose, or draw. This week and this move, I'm so bullish that it's not just short term, but I'm bullish for the long term too. Now, whether you're brand new or maybe you've had a big trade or investment in your life, don't worry. Because when the indicator is green, we can open up our next perfect Tesla trade. So you're going to see today how there's something special about this one stock and the way it moves. Oh no. We do not do that, Matt. And it's giving us a real shot to target gains of 100% or more. Actually, there's times, we'll get into more details on your question though, in 6 days or less. For example, let's go back to May of last year. I remember this because it was right around my birthday, actually. As you can see, the indicator flipped from red to green. Shares were about $1.70. Now that meant Tesla was gearing up for its next bullish trading cycle. Now, in about 6 weeks, the shares ripped higher in a row, actually, from 170 up to 270. It's about a $100 move. Anyone who bought the stock at the beginning of the cycle would have done well. Heck, 40% in 40 days. That's fantastic. But how to use the perfect Tesla trade instead? You could have grabbed 198% in the first 3 trading days. That's $5,000 to $9,900 by the end of the week. Now, some, and I get it, call it quits for the month, that's enough, but that would have been a costly mistake. The very next week, the indicator was still green, meaning we placed another perfect Tesla trade that was a 254% ROI. The following week, we were still green. So we stick to the girl we brought to the prom, do the same trade, same day, same time. The week after, same darn thing, up to 127%. The week after, 4 trading days, 133%. That was 5 weeks with 5 needle moving wins. $1,000 into the Tesla the old-fashioned way would have did $400 in profit. Again, fantastic. But using the perfect Tesla trade, that was up to $8,960. And with returns like that, you don't need to do much else. No hunting for technical patterns or no looking for that long-term next investment. No random tips from Fast Money, Mad Money, or Squawk Box. We like to keep it simple, calculated. One ordinary trade, one extraordinary stock, and we look to do it week after week after week. Now, let me be clear. What I'm showing you should not be possible. But thanks to new market anomalies studied by Princeton, Vanderbilt, we have a shot to double our money, potentially each week the indicator is green. Now, that does not mean every trade results in a winner, and trading, anything can happen. Never invest more than willing to lose. Even the best strategies lose on occasion. But looking back, our research shows the perfect Tesla trade has logged a 72.1% success rate dating back to September of 2022. So we're going to do, let's say, 10 trades, and yes, 2 or 3 will be in the losing column, which makes it very hard to blow up an account. That means today, I want to show you why this unique market anomaly makes this trade possible, how our Tesla backtested average 63% return rate with wins and losses, and why being involved in Tesla over the next 12 months, in fact, I think the next 24 months at least, could be one of the smartest decisions you make. Plus, I'll even show how to open up your perfect Tesla trade. Now, that is me, Lance Sapluto, with longer hair. Prior to becoming the senior option strategist for the Trading Pub, I trade around a $30 million account, and I've been able to speak at the Money Show in Vegas twice, which I might be there. I think it's October 20th through 22nd at a conference, so you might see me there. I'll get you more details for sure this week on Stonkamania. I created 2 of the most popular indicators for the Thinkorswim platform. I think I won a couple of trading contests now. I did one in Vegas not too long ago. And I used to go on CNN Money and Cheddar TV a lot now. I kind of moved out, got cows, grow vegetables. I really don't go on TV anymore. Kind of like the quiet life, fish a lot. And over the past 12 months, many of the strategies, we've been fortunate to have a nice, about 70% win rate on the live issue trades. Y'all know my favorite stock, TKO, big wrestling fan. I got my wrestling cards still, my Hogan cards all over here. Google, the Trade Desk, Oracle, we had a big win on that one as well. Square, Dell, 245%. Now, of course, not every trade's going to be that big. We saw big wins, losses, and of course, break even along the way. But with that said, we grew one strategy to around 150% growth. Now, that's great, but it pales into comparison to what I'll show you today. You see, the perfect Tesla trade is not just another trading strategy. It's a giant leap forward for anyone trading at home. So if you're like me, I trade now on my computer, sometimes my laptop, sometimes my phone. But really for anyone who's tired of the outdated market tactics. It's for folks looking to do more with less effort. And it's one trade I look forward to each and every week. That's why I want to show you how to use the perfect Tesla trade inside your own account. And if you're burned out on the markets, I do understand. We've watched the markets crumble and soar on multiple occasions. So if exploring a new strategy sounds exhausting, I do hear you. But don't call it quits quite yet, because there's a new way to simplify your approach to trading by ignoring most stocks in the market. Ignore those 490 stocks and hyper focus on one highly predictable, one high in momentum stock. One that can offer you more steady opportunities than any other stock on the market. And in my years of being a trading educator, I found that most folks do too much. I get it. They trade multiple strategies, multiple stocks, multiple asset classes. I get it. Most people start off, they might do penny stocks, they might do Forex, futures, all the kind of risky stuff. Then they might move into stock and options trading, but they're looking at so many things. And if you look at the numbers, which don't lie, 99% of day traders lose more than they win. It's not a coincidence. On the other hand, the most profitable traders target the same setup on the same stock week after week. Like the Wall Street analysts, they focus on one stock or a couple stocks in a certain sector, and that's all they do. That's why they have different divisions. And while that might seem boring, repetitive, the returns based on our data have been anything but that. So we flew out this gentleman from Germany who was a data analyst with a crazy beard to test the perfect Tesla trade. Now, he was working behind the scenes to optimize everything from our entries to exits. Now, his data, and I want to be clear, this is data. Obviously, as humans, we do have emotions, but his data showed the perfect Tesla strategy could have turned $5,000 to $79,393 in 13 months. That's including wins and losses. Now, of course, data can't predict human emotion, and you might sell it too early or you might buy it too late. Let's be 100% transparent there. But to get those results, you would have had to bought Tesla in 2017 and basically held on and never sold a share. But that's why I'm here today. I want to show you that it's possible to find more satisfaction and stability inside the stock market just by making one ordinary trade on one extraordinary stock over and over. So let's jump back to March. Now, Tesla was a little bit higher, around 195, when my indicator flipped from red to green. At the time, though, it didn't make much sense. The S&P was going lower, and most tech names were moving lower too. And the media kept talking about the economic recession. Kind of sounds familiar, right? Lots of Meta, Amazon are moving sideways or down now, and the media now is all talking about the government shutdown. But that didn't matter one bit because my indicator was showing green, meaning Tesla was in a bullish trading cycle. Anyone who used the perfect Tesla trade could have collected 136% ROI in just 5 trading days. That's obviously more than what Tesla paid out over the last year. Now, that'd be like watching $5,000 transform into $11,800 when most stocks were struggling. For most traders, a return like that only happens once in a blue moon. But the next week, we're still green, meaning place another perfect Tesla trade, and that was a potential double your money opportunity for the second week in a row, about 106%. And in this case, your timing couldn't have been any better because the bullish trading cycle, well, it ended and it turned red, as you can see there. As expected, shares tumbled lower, but it wouldn't have mattered because using the perfect Tesla strategy, you would have been out of the trade and on with your life. For me, that's less time in front of the computer, more time outdoors. I'm actually looking to plan a retreat in maybe Costa Rica, Mexico, or I think there's one in North Carolina and Austin, Texas, the Marivelli or something it's called. More time fishing. That's a small bass. I caught a 9-pounder a couple months ago on the dock, and that's actually in Costa Rica with the rooster fish and then snook here in Tampa Bay. More time out with the cows. The chickens are no longer with us, sadly. Coyotes, bobcats, you name it, got them. I don't have too much cocktails anymore, but I used to love them. If you see me in Vegas, I might have one, though. And it all starts by leveraging the anomaly hidden inside Tesla stock. You see, Tesla right now has a unique element that most stocks don't. On a fundamental level, it's considered an auto stock. Ugh. It gets lumped in with the slow movers like Ford, GM, Stellantis. But from a technical standpoint, it moves fast like a tech stock. Names we know like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon. That means it's hypersensitive to momentum. The number one hypersensitive stock. And in the case of Tesla, it can run harder, faster, longer than a majority of names in the market. You see, momentum is what causes these trading cycles to last for weeks on end. Meaning, when it's working in your favor, it can be hard to be wrong. So I knew if we could define a momentum that's specific to Tesla stock, we could pinpoint when the bearish cycles were ending and the bullish cycles were starting. That's when the indicator will flip from red to green. This allows us to target all the highs and sidestep the lows. And if you've been following me over the past few years, Tesla's been one of the biggest trades in my life. But what you might not know is the early versions of this very indicator played a very big part of it. In May of 2021, I put $40,000 to the stock while I was trading around 193. You can see that's right when the bearish cycle ended and the bullish cycle was starting. Now, by November, Tesla shares broke the $400 mark. In other words, the share price doubled in 5 months. The skeptics will say, hey, you got lucky. But in actuality, Tesla started one of the longest bullish cycles in its history. The simple fact is, Tesla is almost in one of these cycles. Now, when you know how to target them using the perfect Tesla trade, you don't have to wait months to go after a money doubling opportunity. Because when the indicator is green, we have a chance to do it in around 6 days. Like we saw in November. This time, most people were waiting for their stimulus check. Now, looking at the chart, it would have been nearly impossible to see the bullish cycle starting. Kind of like what we've been seeing, consolidation, breakout. Because we were range bound for 3 straight months, just like we got out of, literally recently. But when you apply the indicator, you see a different story. You would have known it was the perfect time to target Tesla stock because anyone using the perfect Tesla trade when the indicator turned green could have placed the trade for 134%. The next week, it was the same exact thing, 190%. 1,000 would be worth over 5,200. And keep in mind, this is during market chaos when people were having job cuts and people were waiting on stimulus checks. The perfect Tesla trade prevailed, and that would have paid out over $5,000. But the next week, the strategy did not pan out. Things started off hot, but the stock took a tumble. There was Elon Musk email that got leaked saying the share price was too high. Yes, and a crash could be coming. Sure enough, the share price dipped lower. Now, as fortunate as that is, it's a natural part of the game. In trading, anything can happen. We never want to bet the farm on a single investment, never risk more than willing to lose. But in this case, things would have worked out. The bullish trading cycle actually never ended. It was just a short-term pullback because we were still green, meaning we placed the perfect Tesla trade, still in a bullish cycle, and that was up to 122% payout. So with wins and losses, that was 1,000 to over 7,000, over 3,000 in profits. Now, that's what I love about the perfect Tesla trade. You don't have to win every single trade in order to find stability in the stock market. Our research concluded our average has been right around 63% return. That includes wins and losses. The S&P pays actually right around 7, maybe 9% on average. That's a 13% was going out way back in time. The perfect Tesla trade, right around that 52 to 63%. And based on what the indicator is showing right now, Tesla's next bullish cycle is just getting started, just like we talked about earlier. If everything's weak, and if you want all the details, I want to share them with you. But first, let me walk you through the specifics. So we just don't go blindly buy Tesla when the indicator is green or when we're in a bullish cycle. While that can work, and this is very important, the most optimal entry takes place on Thursday afternoons. Now, this starts with the anomaly I mentioned earlier. A study by Princeton, Vanderbilt. You see, Wall Street market makers, what they do is they sell, especially right now, more call options on Tesla than any other stock on the planet, especially when it's going higher. So remember that 488 is going to be panicking those $500 call sellers. So $500 is a big sweet spot. Now, what most people don't realize is when the market makers sell millions of those call options to folks, whether it's retail or institutions, they're legally bound to have enough shares on hand to fulfill those options at expiration. So let's say they sell 1 million call options. Tesla right now trades around a little over 1 million options a day with calls and puts. That would be required to have 100 million shares on hand that they can buy. So in simple terms, it means they are required to buy the shares before the options expire. Now that usually happens at the end of the week, and it can cause the shares to surge between Thursday, Friday, and Monday. Not only does it accelerate the bullish trading cycles, but it opens up a new opportunity each Thursday afternoon. For example, We go back to Thursday, October 14th. The indicator was green, meaning we were in a bullish trading cycle. If we look how the stock went higher from Thursday, Friday to Monday, in this case, the market makers were likely buying shares against the options they sold. And as a result, the stock shot up 6% in 3 days. So if you're wondering why, Lance, are we seeing these like 3 to 4 to 5% moves on Tesla stock recently? This is one of the key reasons why. Now, that's a big return, right? No doubt about it. It's great. But let's say you did the perfect Tesla trade, that was up to 144% ROI. That's like turning 5K into over $12,000, which is very different than traditional market strategies. Now, the technical term for this end of the week surge is called the gamma squeeze, and it's happening inside Tesla stock on a regular basis. The more options the market makers sell to folks like us, the more shares they have to buy. And in return, the shares move higher. This process can repeat for weeks on end and accelerate these bullish trading cycles. That's why we see such aggressive moves in Tesla stock. And if you're wondering why, again, right now, because we're starting to see it. That's why I'm here today. Usually these cycles last anywhere between 4 to about 6 weeks. And that sounds crazy. I get it. But our analyst was able to spot this anomaly in the raw data. So during his data, if you look how the stock moves on Tuesday and Wednesday, it's not much. But the biggest weekly moves happen Thursday through Monday. So Thursday, we want to get in. Friday, the option expiration. At the market close, when the options expire, those market makers are forced to buy shares of stock. So when does that get reflected? Come Monday. And going back to our example, let me show you what I mean. Tuesday, Wednesday, pretty flat. Thursday, Friday, Monday is when you have that big move, right? If someone has to buy a boatload of shares Friday after the market, what's going to happen Monday morning? The shares are going to go higher. Anyone using the perfect Tesla trade could have more than tripled their money. The next week, it was the same exact thing. Tuesday, Wednesday, relatively flat. Thursday, Friday, Monday, higher. In this case, that was up to 246%. Now, you can take these trades again from your cell phone, laptop, computer, your couch, maybe the golf course. I wouldn't wear a glove though. And if you're trying to figure out exactly how the perfect Tesla trade works, let me sum it up for you. One, make sure we're green on Thursday afternoon. As the data shows, it's without a doubt the most optimal time to buy the stock. Step two, make sure the daily candle is at or above the indicator line. Step three, make sure the indicator slope is trending upward. By doing this, it will help the likelihood of a failed move higher. When all three signals line up, we're looking at the perfect Tesla trade. Let me show you an example from Thursday, June 1st. We were green, as you can see there. The candle was trading above the indicator line, confirming we're in a bullish trend, and we were trending upward, as you can see there. Sure enough, Tesla ripped higher. That was good to collect 131% in 4 days. Now here's another example from Thursday, June 8th. Same exact thing. Green, above, trending higher. That was 127% by Monday. Thursday, June 15th, same thing. These are actually my favorite when we get a little bit of a pullback down to the indicator line. 133%. So we were green, above, trending up. 3 weeks, 3 potential triple digit wins. $5,000 up to 19,550. Now, this is not like missing out on Tesla in 2010. We're not about that. We don't have a time machine. It's about identifying the next trading cycle and milking it for every drop it has to offer. It's about bringing simplicity to the stock market. I'm already losing my hair and getting too much gray hair. I want to keep it simple by placing one ordinary trade on one extraordinary stock week after week after week. And based on my indicator, the next Tesla bullish cycle is just getting started, which tells me the next few weeks should be quite exciting. I'm not just saying that. Some are already calling for Tesla to reverse course before the end of the year. Now, this is why I'm so bullish heading into year end. Now, some even have new highs by December. In my opinion, we're going to have new highs by November, which brings me to the perfect Tesla opportunity I'm looking at right now. As we speak, and we did the research, if everything checks out this week, and we actually have been gotten so overwhelmed with people, we actually did trades ready for you in your members area right now. So you can do them first thing Monday morning. We will have you a trade alert up posted with the screenshot of the indicator so you can see everything. And if you want all the details of this trade so you can execute it first thing Monday, I'll be happy to share them with you. It's all part of an exclusive venture we call the Perfect Tesla Trade. Even in all the craziness in the stock market, we've done very well in the Perfect Tesla Trade. We've nailed all our trades in the last 60 days. We've been very hot, as you can see there from our trade tracker. Anyone following along will be looking at an extra 14K. That's based on a $2,500 return. To my knowledge, this is the only research service on the planet that leverages Tesla's trading cycles to target gains that have eclipsed double digits or more. And outside of a small group of traders, we do have some members here too, so I just want a big shout out to y'all. No one else has seen the indicator or the Perfect Tesla strategy. But today, you'll be invited to join us. Well, I believe will be some of the best weekly setups over the next 12, and in my opinion, up to the next 24 months. And if you followed my work in the past, I'm not just blowing smoke up. Here's what a few top folks have said. Jeff G, the man, the myth, the legend. I'm in the Perfect Tesla Trade, and it's paid for itself in the first trade. Todd S, I'm not really one to post my winnings, but it's been so good lately, it's hard to resist here. Now, all the trades that I closed out today, so far my winnings are $110,564. That is insane. We've had some people with even crazier numbers I probably can't even mention here. Now, my goal is to blow that out the water. Before we open up spots, here's what you can expect. Each week, I'll use the Perfect Tesla Trade. So we'll use the indicator and send it to you, the screenshot of it with each alert to monitor the activity inside Tesla stock. We'll be looking for that end of the week gamma squeeze. And of course, we'll verify the Perfect Tesla Trade criteria. If everything lines up, we'll send you the Perfect Tesla Trade alert. You'll get it via text, email, and Telegram. Over the next year, you can expect at least 24 unique alerts. Obviously, we over deliver and do more. Now, as you might expect, this does involve options that would give you such big potential returns in such a short amount of time. For example, here's a trade we did Thursday, October 21st. The stock gained 14% in 4 days. That's massive. But the Perfect Tesla Trade was over 590%. That's when we did on earnings. So earnings, you can really have that potential for those massive grand slam home runs. To put that in perspective, $1,000 into the stock gave you 140 in profit. I mean, that's great, but we all know utility bills and stuff have become very expensive. Life is. I just bought a $36 steak at Publix, and it wasn't even grass-fed or Wagyu, just I couldn't believe it, trust me. But $1,000 into the option would have paid over $5,900 in profit. That's why we'll give you the exact option criteria for each trade. So if you want to do the stock, you can. If you want to do the option, which we pair it with, that's how you can get those explosive potential gains. So we'll give you the Perfect Tesla Trade, the date, the entry, the exit, the analysis, and a screenshot so you can do it right inside your own account. Doesn't matter what broker you have, could be a regular broker account, retirement account, all that works. No guesswork, no confusion. We do all the grunt work for you. All you have to know is that at 2 o'clock on Thursday, you'll get the Perfect Tesla Trade. But like I said, we wanted to bring this to you today because we have 2 alerts waiting for you in your members area that you can do first thing Monday morning. And to make it all possible, and of course, we'll still do Thursday at 2, the trade notifications will be sent via text, email, telegram from entries and exits. Now, some weeks we don't do a new trade. There'll be weeks where you sit on the sidelines and wait, but we'll still give you an update out there. We just don't want to force stuff. We'll send you still a notification via text, email, and telegram, so you're always updated. Real big on communication. Now, if you're saying, hey, what is an option? What is a call, Lance? I don't know what you're talking about. Don't worry. We have something cool for you. You also get access to the Option Hero Workshop. This is a 7 hard-hitting sessions on how to trade, how to approach options. Full education, and we include that completely free. The retail price is $397, but today, no charge. That is included for free. And we want to get you educated. We want to get you informed. We want to make you comfortable. We want to boost your confidence. Like Carol, I never thought I'd trade options. Now I'm trading options. The videos are very educational. Now, we'll be wrapping up in a moment, but here's one more thing I have for you. And someone asked this in the chat. Hey, Lance, what happens if the stock goes down? What happens if we're in a bearish trading cycle? Well, as I mentioned, there have been 17 bullish cycles in September of 2020, and there's also been 16 bearish cycles. So in that same time frame, so we have bullish cycles that usually last 4 to 6 weeks, and we also have bearish cycles. And just like the bullish cycles, they can last for about 4 to 6 weeks on it. So we also want to include the perfect Tesla puts. Now, this is the same way the perfect Tesla trade works, but to the downside, meaning it's just as easy to place the trade. Meaning you don't need any additional privileges, you're not doing margin, you don't have to do any additional legwork. Put simply, it's a straightforward and effective way to target Tesla even if shares are heading down. So let's say we go back to December when the whole market crashed, Tesla was going down. I mean, we have to be open-minded, and we know stocks just don't go up forever. So what happens? Maybe over the next year or so, market crashes, Tesla goes down. Well, we had a bearish trading cycle, and that was 5 consecutive wins in 5 weeks, meaning we'd still do the perfect Tesla trade, but as you can see here, we're red instead of green, meaning we'll take it to the downside of these trades. And we had some nice winners, as you can see, about 97% in January. Thousandth each was well over that 10 grand mark. Now, again, we can't promise future return against losses, but that's a nice chunk of change. Maybe to help replenish the retirement, catch up on some high rate mortgage payments as we've been experiencing. And in this case, you could have done it while the stock was going down. So for traders like us, that's a massive perk. It means we have a shot to target these kind of returns regardless of which direction the stock goes. So you just won't receive the perfect Tesla opportunities when the stock is screaming higher, which obviously I'm very bullish, but also if the stock is moving lower. In my opinion, we could easily sell it as a service itself. That's what publisher Nate wanted to do. He wanted to charge you money for it, but I said, hey, I don't want to charge people for hedging, especially if the stock is going down. I want to be able to teach you how to make money, not take it from you. So we're including that as well at no extra cost. Now, before we share the sign-up link for you with that kind of potential, please note the membership does start at $14.97. Now, in fact, if you attended one of our recent Tesla trainings, that is our special webinar discount. Normally sells for $29.97 if you were to just buy it online. But in honor of our current 10 trade win streak and for being here on a Sunday night with me today, we're doing something pretty crazy. We're going to offer, is this even right? Tonight, you can gain lifetime access. Wow. For $14.97, Deanna, that is crazy. I thought we were doing 2 years for $14.97. That's lifetime access in all big bold, so it is good for just one payment of $14.97. Wow. Wow. Meaning no annual renewals, no maintenance fees, no purchase, and you're good. Normally, you have to purchase the 1 or 2 year subscription just to have a chance to get lifetime. That's what I remember. But today, you can skip all that and gain lifetime access for one very low price. That said, I knew there was a catch. This offer only is available for the next 24 hours. In fact, it expires at 7 p.m. tomorrow. So if you're ready to ride Tesla's next trading cycle, get out your credit card because we should be posting the perfect Tesla trade, not just this Thursday, gang. I had to do it early for y'all. And we actually have 2 new alerts waiting for you that you can do Monday morning. Of course, we're still going to follow up and maybe even do another trade Thursday, but I had to do it. Last week was too good. So if you'd like to follow along, click the link in the chat. It's Lance Ippolito, lancipolito.com/Tesla, or you could click the link in the chat. That's lancipolito.com/Tesla. All the details of your new membership are on the next page. And if you prefer to speak with someone over the phone, we have an amazing team in Florida at 904-706-3539. And if you're serious about joining, today's the day to do it. Since we started taking these Tesla trades publicly, our Model 5K account has grown by over 12x. And that's given some folks a shot at some pretty big returns. There's the legend. Jeff G. sold in up $266,200 in Tesla. I kept averaging down on dips. All in all, I had 47 in the trade. I'm on the forward contract, sold 315 this morning. Now, that was a huge winner, to be fair. That was during earnings, which we do have earnings upcoming not too far away. Carson, I made 13K on Tesla overnight. Joe, I have a 450% return from the perfect Tesla trader overnight. Jesus. Get the perfect Tesla trader and you will not be disappointed. Whew. I mean, even reading that, sometimes I'm like, that's insane. So please, if you want to sign up and take advantage of this 24-hour offer, I'll be honest, gang, I didn't know. I thought it was 2 years for the $14.97 price. This is the second time in a row they switched the script on me and did a lifetime deal. And if you have maybe a 1-year subscription, I would just call in that 904-404 number, 8873, and I don't see what they can do. Because holy crap. I'll take questions live in just a minute, but first let me address some of those common questions. These are the most common. There we go. How much money does it take to take the perfect Tesla trade? So here's what we did, okay? So normally it would cost between $500 to $700. Nowadays, I'll be honest, the price of business has gone up. It's been anywhere between like $1,000 to $3,000. So expensive trades, right? But here's what we do. We give you the perfect Tesla trade for big accounts and small accounts. So there's a TSLL, which is a Tesla ETF, where you can take the trade for around $100 to $200. So if you have a small account, you can do it too, or you can just do more contracts. So it's really cool. If you have a big account, we'll give you the more expensive trade, and we'll give you the smaller trade if you have a small account, or you can just do more contracts if you have a bigger account. They move just about 1-to-1. How long does it take to enter the perfect Tesla trade? It's very simple. We just do an outright call option when it's bullish, put option when bearish, but literally could take 5 to 60 seconds. Super, super easy. You can do it on a Robinhood, Webull, Tasty Trade, Schwab, Fidelity, E-Trade, any broker. Could be a regular account, could be a retirement account. You don't need any spreads. You don't need any strangles, no butterflies, nothing like that. No multi-step, just outright buy stock option. You can even do the stock. How long will you be in the trade? And will you also send out an alert when it's time to close the trade? Yes. So most trades are around 6 weeks or less, win, lose, or draw, but we'll be sending you both entries and exit via text, email, and Telegram. So we send you both entries and exits. If you haven't clicked the link in the chat, do so right now. Get signed up at lancipolito.com Tesla. And all the details are ready on your membership page. Plus, we have another bonus for you inside your members area. Now, keep in mind, you also get the daily 10 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time customer live sessions. During these sessions, you'll be able to ask questions about your membership, the strategy, and anything else. Now, is a Tesla indicator for sale? No. And we have no plans to release it publicly. But with that said, we'll be sharing the best setups for you as long as possible. We actually send you the screenshot each week so you know exactly what you're looking at. Now, if you're having reservations, I get it. This is a totally new way to capitalize on Tesla stock. But in my opinion, there isn't a bigger opportunity to deploy over the next 12 to 48 months. In fact, with this, you get it for life. So you'll literally get these alerts for life. That's crazy just saying that. Wow. And that's why I want to give you the Perfect Tesla Trader lifetime today without stressing up about the membership fee, where again, it's a one-time payment. But let's say it's not for you. Let's say the insights, the education, or maybe you just move to Cancun with the Bahama Mama and surf for the rest of your life. Hey, I get it. I was in Costa Rica for a while on the beach. You could just call the first 14 days and you could get a money back guarantee. No harm, no foul, right? We'll refund you. No harm, no foul. It's our way of saying thank you for trying it, but you're also hedged. If things go as planned, though, we would not be shocked if you could have that possibility to cover the membership fee. Of course, we can't promise that, but we have seen it in some services like Parquet, who paid for 2 years in one trade. Again, you get lifetime. And Damon says, made for enough to pay for the programs. Paul bought the pot last night and had within 24 hours. Made the sign up fee in 2 trades when I joined for $14.97. Now, please be clear. If you're hoping to be the next Forex Miami millionaire and drive a red Ferrari overnight, it's probably not for you. I'll be honest, and they're not really not trading real money either, those people. But if you like to force trades or take crazy unnecessary risk, it is definitely not for you either. If you are someone who's open-minded, maybe even a little contrarian, and likes to be calculated, strategic, and you like repetition and consistency, this could be a good fit. If you thought watching what could be rock solid opportunities stack up week after week, if that gets you excited, then come join the groundbreaking new venture, the Perfect Tesla Trade. Click the link in the chat or just go to lanceapolito.com to take your first step. And when you do, you'll be one step closer to joining. Like, share. Woohoo, nice Friday payday on Tesla. 14.25, taking the family out to dinner, probably Texas Roadhouse. Lance bought 3 Tesla calls at $1.20, so that's $120 to $800, $900, and $1,000. Thank you, Don. Marianne, oh my goodness, Lance, I just sold 2 Tesla 6.9 Tesla 240 options, 1,965 profit. Gina made 450% on Tesla. Sherry, good Lord, 7,485 on Tesla this morning. Dennis, huge gain for me. What a pop, 115% increase. I need to break out the champagne on that one. So today, get signed up. Please note this does expire in 24 hours because it is lifetime, apparently, that you get. So pretty cool. At 904-706-3539, or you can just click the link in the chat. If you have any questions, I'm going to pop up the chat here in 10 seconds, but I'm going to give you a 10-second rundown of what you get when you sign up. You get unlimited Perfect Tesla alerts. So they usually go out Thursday at 2 p.m. This week, though, just momentum is too crazy. So we have 2 trades waiting for you so you can do them actually Monday morning. So you can do them even sooner. The Option Hero Workshop, you get that included. The Perfect Tesla Put Alert. So if the stock does go down or the whole market crashes, you'll be hedged. We have a special Tesla investor guide and the Tesla dividend stock, which is like insane, the distribution rate. You got to check it out. The Perfect Tesla option criteria, text, email, telegram, entries, and exits sent to you. Free upgrade to lifetime VIP. Hey, it said it, so you get it. And additional training and bonuses. We usually go live to about once a month. All right, so let's go into the chat. Dion.
All right, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed that presentation, and I know that we got some questions in the chat as well from Kathy. So you already have the Perfect Tesla Trader, and so alerts go out on Thursday. And as Lance was saying, we don't always send out a new alert on Tesla on Thursdays. So what we do is, as you look at Tesla, it's kind of been in this choppy range a little bit. So this is a week that we kind of wouldn't want to trade Tesla, just to be on the sidelines and keep our cash and waiting for a better opportunity, just like we did on the last run up that we saw in Tesla, where we got a couple 60% returns, a 30% return just in that one run up. So we kind of play it. We use the indicator and we play it when we deem it's necessary. So Kathy, they should be in your members area, all the alerts. Plus, you will get them text, email, and on the one-click trading app. So yeah, so the team brought back this 24-hour deal for $14.97 to lock in lifetime. And this is a service that Lance has been doing for I think 3 years now. And the results have been incredible. I'm looking at the official trade log here. We have been hitting with a 75% win rate, which is absolutely insane. And in our last 19 alerts since the beginning of July, we won all of them. We won all 19 alerts. Some good ones here: 63% return, 40% return, 49% return, 55% return, 61% return. And of course, we've had some break evens in there with and a couple of little dinks and dabs here. But the average hold time that we usually hold these positions, I saw that question in the chat while we were going on, is 4 days. So on average, we will hold these positions for 4 days. And as you can see, if you're looking at the Tesla chart, that's all it really needs is to make substantial returns. So we hold the positions for an average of 4 days with the average return of being 24%, which is absolute. Oh, yeah, average return of 24%, including winners and losers. So it's actually been crazy. And on our winners, we're averaging 50% return. So we're doing really well. We have a profit factor of 2.5, which is awesome. And we've received awesome feedback from our members of the Perfect Tesla Trader. So it's really been a great time for us. And today I got the team to run lifetime for us at $14.97, which we never did. Linens, you have all your money in E-Trade. How do you use it? Simple. Just you can trade Tesla options on E-Trade as well. You don't have to have a special broker or anything. It's just straight calls and straight puts. So you can trade on E-Trade, Robinhood, Thinkorswim, Schwab, any of the major brokers or any broker at that. John, what time of day do you send out the alerts? Usually Thursday at 2:00 p.m. So we want to make sure that Tesla is either in a bullish or bearish trend, and usually that happens on Thursday. As Lance was talking about, he brought in the data analyst, and he says that Thursday at 2 p.m. is the best time to enter a trade on Tesla. So that is what we do. Kathy, does he include a GTC order? No, but we do include entry and exit alerts. So we'll tell you exactly when to exit, at what price. I'm sorry. We'll tell you exactly when to enter and at what price to enter at, as well as we'll tell you when to exit and what price to exit at. So in a way, it is GTC order, but we don't tell you that when we get in. We'll send you entry and exits alerts. Rochester, yes, there is a trial period. So the trial period is 14 days. So if you try it out for 2 weeks and decide that you don't like it, you can call our team back and we will refund you every penny that you spent. So no harm, no foul, no risk on you. We want to take all that risk off of your shoulders and put it right on top of ours. So you do have a 14-day money back guarantee on that. Rob, no. When we lose, it is most likely never the full amount. Our average loser is around 45%, I think. So we cut our losses fairly quickly. And of course, we will let you know if we do cut our losses. But from our back tested data that goes back, not back tested data, this is real data, real trades that go back 3 years or so, we are hitting with a 75% win rate. And that is all thanks to our Tesla indicator. And like Lance said, we don't give that out, but we will include a screenshot of the indicator when we send you the alerts, the entry alerts and exit alerts, just so you know kind of what's going on and what trend it is in. Ellen, this is a great service. I agree with you, Ellen. I agree. Kathy, no, this is not a spread. We don't do any spreads. What we do is straight calls and straight puts. Our last position, we did Tesla November 21 460 calls where we got a 63% return. And then for all of you that have maybe a smaller account around $1,000 or $2,000, just like me, we also send you alerts on TSLL, which is different from TSLA because TSLL is it's a ticker that acts just like Tesla, but the options are much cheaper. We do know that Tesla has pretty expensive options around $1,000 to $2,000 each. So we include the TSLL alerts, so you can take all these trades that we're taking, and those contracts range from $1 to $3 usually. Yeah. So it's really good for small accounts, really good for bigger accounts. And Tesla is one of those names that can move really big if you play it right. And looking at the trade tracker, it looks like we play it right 75% of the time, which is awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and put the link and the phone number down at the bottom of the chat. So if you haven't locked in your Perfect Tesla membership yet, go ahead and do so now. We are running a 24-hour special where you get lifetime for the price of 1 year, which is absolutely crazy. I really can't believe the team let us do that, but yeah, that is open, and it's only gonna last. It's only gonna last for until midnight tonight, I believe. Um, so make sure you lock it in and get everything you need, get in the members area, get all the training, and once you get locked in, you have a 14-day money back guarantee. So if you try it out for 2 weeks and you decide that you don't like it or it's not for you, no harm, no foul. We'll give you all the money back, no problem. Zay, do you ever add to a position? Yes, actually we do. So um, we will add to a position if we are still bullish, and we have done that plenty of times in the past, and it worked out fairly well for us. But yes, we will add to a position. That's a good question. But if you'd rather place your order by phone, no problem. You'll be talking to a real person in Florida where they will get you all handled. They'll get you locked in and they'll set you up with your new membership. And if you do have it already, if you're locked in with a 1 year or a 2 year deal, you can give our team a call at 904 706 3539 and upgrade to lifetime for today's price. And then whatever you paid for the 1 year, they will refund you that money and then kind of give you a credit for today's webinar price. Yeah. So David, if what price to upgrade to lifetime if you have it already? That depends on what you have already paid, but you can get on the phone with our team at 904 706 3539 and they will get you sorted out there. And they'll tell you exactly how much credit they can offer if you already have it. That's a good question as well. But yeah, this is a great service. Lance has been doing it for 3 years or so, I believe. Let me make sure I got that. So about 2 years now. He's been doing it for about 2 years. Um, and if a service lasts more than a year or 2 years, it's a pretty good service. And we've had great results with the Perfect Tesla Trader. So um, it's been really good. I've made some money off of it. Lance has made plenty of money off of it, and most importantly, our members, they've made a lot of money on it as well. So if you haven't yet, get in on the action. Really is a great service. Yeah, so David, if you have 2 years, you can upgrade to lifetime today for the lifetime price, depending on what you paid for the 2 years. And I'm not sure when you did that, but our team over in Florida will be able to help you out. So if you do have any further questions that I didn't answer yet, you can put them in the chat, and I will make sure to answer them. I'm going to stay on for probably about 2 or 3 more minutes and see if we get any questions in. But yes, the team hooked us up with a lifetime deal for everybody today because I know you guys like those lifetime deals. And I don't blame you. Never have to pay a maintenance fee, never have to pay a renewal fee ever again. And then once you lock in lifetime, you're able to transfer that over to a family member or a friend later on down the road if you so desire to. But yes, these lifetime deals, they're hard to come by from our team. But when they give it to us, we want to make sure to take full advantage of the lifetime deals because um, Rochester, do we get Stonkamania with Tesla deal? So Stonkamania is this show, and you get it for free, my friend. Stonkamania is free to come to every day. We do it at 1:30 p.m. every day. But the Perfect Tesla Trader membership, it includes entry, exit alerts, um, pretty much everything. But Stonkamania is free to come to every single day, and we hold it in the same place every single day. So make sure you lock it in. Um, and take advantage of the good deal that we have. Um, these lifetime deals are hard to convince the team to send these out, but we got it today for you. We ran it back, so make sure you lock it in. But great questions, everybody. And if you do have Kim, you can give that phone number a call and ask about the news flow scanner if you're wanting to check that out. 904-706-3539. Give our team a call and ask about the news flow scanner. They'll give you a lifetime price for that as well. And if you guys do want all of Lance's services, if you're like, I want all of Lance's services, we do offer a VIP membership. It's called our Diamond Club. Comes with a private Telegram channel where we send out all the alerts for all the services to our Diamond Club members. And you can give that number a call, 904-706-3539, to get a price on that as well if you're interested. So you'll get all the alerts for all of Lance's services, including the Perfect Tesla Trader. So you can give that number a call, 904-706-3539. But it was a pleasure hanging out with you guys today, and happy Friday. Hope you guys have an awesome Friday or weekend plans scheduled for this weekend. But yeah, I do appreciate you guys showing up for Stonkamania every day. Love seeing the familiar faces, and I love seeing the new faces as well. So, Rochester, can you have a session to review all your offerings? It's a bit confusing to us. So, if you want to look at all of the offerings, you can go to thetradingpub.com and click on Lance Bolito's name, and you will see all of his services where you can read about them, see what they do, what kind of alerts, how often are the alerts. You can go to thetradingpub.com and check out all of Lance's services there. It'll be too much for me to go over all of Lance's services because he does have plenty of services. So I don't want to take up too much of y'all's time today going over all of that, especially while we have a killer deal on Perfect Tesla Trader today. Probably one of Lance's most popular and favorite services that he does. So yeah, so if you guys are wondering about all the services, you can give our team a call and they can talk you through all of the services, and you guys can pick out which one kind of fits the mold of what kind of trader you are. Or you can go to thetradingpub.com, like I mentioned, and see it all there on the website. In Rochester, yeah, I'll run that by Lance. I think that's a good idea where we can do that. And maybe we can do that next week for Stonkamania. Talk a little bit about everything and see what the favorites are and see what kind of fits your mold as a trader. I know every trader is different. Some people like swing trading, some people like day trading, some people like a mix of both. But yes, you're welcome, Rochester. You're welcome, and thanks for the good questions. I really appreciate them. Um, but yeah, I hope you guys have a great Friday. Um, take it easy over the weekend, get a fresh restart, and we are back at it on Monday. And if you guys do have further questions, if you guys get into the member area of the Perfect Tesla Trader, or if you have any questions about any other services, you can email me, Christian R. I'm going to type it in the chat at investpub.com, or you can email Lance at lance at thetradingpub.com. But it was a pleasure being here with everybody today, and hopefully Lance gets lucky in Las Vegas and makes some money. I'm sure we'll hear plenty of stories on Monday for Stonkamania, so make sure you show up on Monday at 1:30 p.m. You can find the login links on Lance's big Telegram or Lance's main Telegram, Lance Ippolito Trading, where we post a link to Stonkamania every day, 30 minutes before we go live and 5 minutes before we go live. So it was a pleasure, guys. Hope y'all have a great weekend, and we will see everybody on Monday. See y'all.
That's how the strategy works every single trade, right?
There's lots of reasons for the Bears to say, okay, let's come back and rebalance.
Stay smart, stay ready, stay profitable.